in prep right now for the finale, directing it, and it's just a nail. Expect a lot, I guess. It's been a very fun season, and I can't wait to give it directors,
all right.
And then I think it was also just a wild and a very blissful experience. It really took you to a place. I mean, I think I really thought of things I most
I think it was just one of those opportunities where you go, it's so great that this is going to get made, because it's a bold film, it's a brave undertaking, and for Helena Rain to be given the ability to make it the way she wanted to make it, I think that was the main thing, is that we were just so happy that it was getting made and wanted to do it justice and have it fully realized.
Why did it have to be identified as the best film of a female director as opposed to just a director? Just curious.
It was such a unique way of delving into this subject matter. And I think the root of it being anchored in that aspect of violence we can have against ourselves, just that way we can judge, we can compare, we can, completely tear ourselves down, was what really moved me the most. I think the way in which I knew visually that she was wanting to tell this story. So I think there's a lot of different elements. For people who just wanted something entertaining and a wild experience, that's there. But it also had, I think, something that had a real deep resonance that was very human.
Jeremy, you're not part of the trouble.
I'll get in the trouble. I'll get one trouble thing.
You just get in the trouble.
To the right.
There you go. That's not wrong. Because something like this.
All the way right for me. Thank you.
Sketch in the snow where I was on a horse, and she brought up the other day and she wants to see it again. And we think that this year she's 5, son is 3.
And when you have a smaller budget and you don't have 100 days to shoot a movie, your creativity becomes so much more heightened and sharpened. I think that sometimes when a production has too much money, they can get lazy. I think that happens a lot. Whereas when you know that you have to make something work in the limited amount of time with the limited budget, something really interesting can come out of that, and it usually does. So.
Well, I've always loved this film. It's always meant a lot to me and been very special. So I don't know, I'm lucky to be here, and I have lots of friends here. So it'll just be a really nice night to celebrate film and all of the beautiful performances that have come out this year.
Question. I feel like I have to. I mean, you know my work from the theater, and I feel like I wanted to just bring that. I've always said I want to bring that same ethos into film and television, where I believe that we're really looking out for each other. It really is a community, and my only North Star is doing things that I think are meaningful and impactful. I can now, I've been doing this work for 34 years now, and I can actually draw a line between Scottsboro Boys and Passing Strange and If Beale Street Could Talk, and things that I feel like are really making an impact. I'm not only entertaining, but I'm also having a good time. I don't take myself too seriously, but I do take what I do very seriously in terms of the impact that it can have on people.
So, yeah, we just had a great group and we really worked together. And I used to be an actress. I'm retired now, but that's why I think I can make other actors feel very safe. So just see them and take them seriously.
But I think that part of the job of being a director is dealing with the constraints of production, and you're never going to have enough money, you're never going to have enough time, and sometimes the best creative solutions can come out of that. I actually changed a huge part of the plot because I needed to simplify a scene for the sake of our shooting schedule.
So the show I was just working on was called Superman and Lois. It was 4 years of hard work. It started in the middle of the pandemic, and we trekked on through the pandemic, through the strike, through just about anything that the universe could throw at us, and we created something that has never been done before in the canon of Superman. So I'm really excited for you guys to see it tonight because it is absolutely monumental.
I think it was, my manager called and said, "You've been nominated for a Gotham." And I was like, what? And she repeated herself, and I mean, I was just like, wow, this is great. I've never been nominated for a Gotham before, so to be nominated for anything, I was just like, this is wonderful.
So this is the first time.
Great, yeah.
I think it's more about the communication. You're all in it together. I think when you work for a studio, when you work for a bigger company, decisions sort of get made without your involvement, and that feels tricky. I think when you work for an independent company, when you work for people who are all trying to sort of come together to make something, that just feels more intimate and more creative, which is more my sort of speed, I suppose. So, yeah, I mean, and not to suggest that Brady has a small-minded perspective on how to make films, but I think I've got something to offer, and to be able to communicate that is really worthwhile. And yeah, so to be heard as a contributor in filmmaking is worthwhile.
Oh, thank God. What was it like for you to see that first initial reaction to that film? It's incredible for me because when I made
What's happening? Thank you.
Congrats on the nomination. How's it feel?
Appreciate it. It feels great. Nice to stand next to this gentleman over here.
Not too brutal. Beautiful.
Not brutal at all. No, not tonight.